Okay, I'm gonna do this response. It's called George Bush is a total moron. He was. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and I would never have voted for him if I were an American. He stole that election fair and square, though, so you gotta give it to him. You know, rigged the ballots in Florida. Not like his brother was. Oh wait, yeah, he was the governor. So yeah, big surprise as to why he won the election over Gore. Gore, the man who can string a couple of sentences together, but people were a little bit concerned because, I guess, because Bill Clinton, well, he was in office the previous term, and well, he had a couple of oopsies with a couple of people he shouldn't have who weren't married to him. And obviously infidelity when you're in public office, or any kind of infidelity. Seriously? Not cool. And I guess people were worried that Al Gore was going to pull the same thing. It's George W. In contrast to Obama, though. George W. said the dumbest things I've ever heard from a politician on the television. He just makes me think, I hope none of his family ever run for politics ever again. The man just made me want to hit myself until I go unconscious. Obama, I'm not saying that I'm going to agree with everything he says. That would be a lie. I don't agree with anything, well, with everything that every politician says. There are things I agree with, there are things I disagree with. But in his speeches, at least he said things that make some freaking sense. He hasn't gone on these moronic tirades saying idiotic things, which then leave the public scratching their heads going, what the hell's this guy on, and where can I get it? At least then they would have understood what he stood for. You know, he's over, and maybe it's not his intelligence that's lacking, but he was trying to oversimplify things. Either way, epic fail. Of course, those who think he was winning, I guess you could say so is Charlie Sheen. They both did pretty much enough drugs. Just saying, Obama, he's not the best guy for the job. He's got some policies that make no sense. But at the very least, like him or hate him, his speeches are actually making sense. Really. Damn, he can string them words together. He can say things that make me think, even if he doesn't care, he's good at faking it. Even if he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, could have fooled me. Really. He's much better than Bush. Now, am I saying that I'm anti-Republican? Nah. I don't vote in the United States because I'm a Canadian citizen. But if I were a Canadian citizen, I would want to take a look at somebody who is more in line with my issues. Somebody who's going to help out. How about persons living with disabilities? Somebody who is going to level the playing field. Now, I'm not sure if Obama is going to do anything for persons living with disabilities. I somehow doubt that. I also I also know that George W. Bush didn't give a rat's ass about persons living with disabilities. Now, here's hoping that the next Republican candidate is going to be honest, sincere, and be able to articulate that, yes, they care about America. And they're not just going to wave the flag and say, you know, 9/11, we hate the terrorists, etc., etc. But say, okay, we got to give everybody a fair shake here. We should be helping those in society who need it. We need to work on our mental health care system because obviously it's very lacking. Things like that. Maybe come up with a more affordable alternative to the healthcare system, which isn't going to be a strain on the tax system. That one's going to be a big challenge, I know. People would have their premiums going up. I can't really speak effectively to that one because I live in Canada. We have nationalized healthcare, and it's provided by the government. Obviously, I'd say in America that wouldn't be a big reality, considering that, well, you got your privatized corporations who are going to lose funding. Who are going to lose their profit if you do that. Not really going to be able to make it feasible, I don't think. Of course, there's always the alternative saying, you don't like our healthcare, move to Canada. And we get some new immigrants from the United States. Who knows? And ultimately, the campaigns are probably going to go the same. One side might make promises, and the other side might just lob a tax. Who knows? Maybe this time it might be the Republicans making good promises, and the Democrats doing the attack thing. I don't know. Do they flip a coin to figure out who does that? I'm just being facetious. My point is, George W. is a moron, and Obama can at least put his sentences together and sound somewhat credible, even if he isn't. Have a nice day. And shalom and nanu nanu, my friend.